Hi everybody, welcome. If you are new here, I'm Abby, and if I practiced with you before, welcome back. So today we have this dynamic, pretty energizing Vinyasa flow. It is going to be suitable for all levels, but I would not recommend this one if you are completely new to yoga. I would head to one of the other classes. But aside from that, as with every practice, there are going to be lots of options throughout. So really matching your energy levels today. If you are feeling for a little more and you want more sensation in the body, that's going to be there for you. Equally, if you want to slow down a little, sit with the breath, take a few more options to pause, always there. So let's get straight into it. We're going to begin today lying down on our backs. If you have your blocks, grab those close by and I will come to meet you on the mat. Okay, so as you arrive on your mat today, before we do anything at all, first we just take a little bit of time to undo. Time to transition from wherever you were in your day, whatever's happened during your week. And just see if you can start to soften. So if you haven't already, the eyes gently close. Notice if you're holding on to any tension through the shoulders. Take a deep breath. Roll them back, let go. Feeling the full weight of your body as it connects to the mat, the ground beneath you. And just start with a little check-in today. Just asking yourself, how do I feel today? In this very moment, what is there? And as always, this isn't a question for us to judge, to change anything at all. It's just pretty rare that we take time to just sit with ourselves to actually notice what's going on. So letting go of any attachment, any judgment to the feelings that do arise. And then start to draw your attention to your breath. Begin to take deeper breaths into the belly. Follow that never-ending cycle where the inhales meet the exhales and vice versa. See if you can really tune into this slow, steady rhythm of your breath. Just remembering today that yoga is primarily a breathwork practice. So even when we begin to move, even if we find ourselves in moments of challenge, see if you can pause and just guide yourself back to that slow, steady breath. Moving completely with your own breath pattern today. It might be slower, it might be quicker than mine. Okay, let's all take a big releasing breath together to begin. When you are ready, inhale through the nose and sigh it out the mouth. Good. Next inhale, let's take a full body stretch. So reaching the arms overhead, maybe pointing the toes long. You could have a little wiggle here. And then gently begin to draw the knees in towards you, in towards the chest. Maybe hands come around the shins as we just take a gentle rock from side to side. And we're going to begin today with just a little bit of core activation. So bringing the knees just above the hips, flexing the feet, and then reach the arms up. So think about this kind of upside down tabletop position. So as we begin, really try and notice that connection with your lower back to your mat. So really pull the belly button towards the spine. And even just that little movement, we might start to feel kind of the core switch on, wake up a little bit. We might feel into some little shakes. And then from here, we're going to take a big breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to extend that right leg out long, left arm behind. Inhale, draw it back to center, push down to lower back. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Inhale back to center. Exhale, extend the arm and opposite leg, maybe hovering the foot off the mat. You could always bend the knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, right arm, left leg. Reach out long. Inhale, center. Let's go just one more each way. Exhale to extend right leg, left arm, push the lower back down. Inhale, center. Last one, right arm, left leg, extend it out long. And then inhale back to center. Hold in there for an extra breath. Again, pull the belly button towards the spine. And then once again, just draw the knees into chest. This time, hands over the shins, and maybe taking a few little circles with the knee here. So a few one way, a few the other, just releasing through the hip space, through the hip flexors. And then let's slide the hands behind the thighs, and we'll take our few little rocks. So really try and notice the full length of your spine as you take your rock. So lower back, mid back, upper back, shoulders. And then once we've got that momentum, we're going to come all the way forward, either crossing over ankles or sweeping the legs around, making our way onto all fours into our tabletop. Take time to kind of mindfully place your hands here underneath the shoulders, spread the fingers wide, knees underneath the hips. And we're just going to start with a few circles here. So moving in one direction, gripping the mat with your fingertips, pushing down through your base knuckles, just move into the hip space. And this can be big, it can be small. You can close the eyes and just start to feel into all these little sensations through the body. And then taking it back the other way. Notice if there are any areas that maybe need a little more attention today, and you can always hold. And then we come to meet back in this neutral position. Let's just take a few rounds of our cat-cow here. So as you inhale, start the movement from the pelvis. Start to tilt the hips up. Follow along the spine, the chest lifts, and you can gaze forward or you can look slightly up, see what feels better. Exhale, pushing down. Start the movement from the pelvis once more. Curl the pelvis towards you. Dome into the back, chin comes to chest. And as we inhale, imagine pulling the hands towards you without actually moving them. And as we exhale, really pushing the hands down into your mat. Taking 2 more rounds with your breath, connecting that movement to the breath now. And then the end of your next exhale, no rush to get there. Let's come to meet in this neutral position. On an inhale, we're going to walk the hands around to the right. So maybe just parallel with the long edge of your mat. And we're going to take a few more rounds of our cat-cow in this position. So we might not get as much movement, but just see how it feels through that left side body. So inhale as you lift the chest. And then exhale, actively pull that left hip away from you. Inhale to lift. Exhale, reverse. Just one more here. Inhale, lift. Think space between the shoulder and the hip. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, walk the hands back to center. And then exhale, take it across to your left. Again, find that hand position. And when you're ready, inhale as you lift the chest. Pull that right hip away. Exhale, dome into the back. Inhale, create that space. Exhale, reverse. Last one here, inhale to lift, still gently pulling the hands towards you, and then exhale, pushing down into your mat. Inhale, slowly releasing the hands back to center. This time, tucking the toes under, roll the shoulders back. Take a big breath in as you lift the chest, lift the sit bones. And then as you exhale, push down through your hands and start to hover the knees off the mat. Coming into this little hold. We're not here for too long. Really try and grip the mat with your fingertips, this little dome into the back. Let's take one more inhale. And then exhale, send the chest towards the thighs, and then begin to unravel the legs into your downward facing dog. As we arrive there, we have another little check-in. So what do we need right now? Where does the body naturally want to go? As always, you can drop down onto the knees, or you can find your movement in your downward facing dog, pedaling through the feet, shaking the head. And think about creating this length all the way from the crown of the head to the sit bones. So really active and supported through the hands, through the arms, through the upper body, and then lengthening through the sides of the waist. And then maybe knees stay bent, maybe the heels are lifted. One more deep breath. And then inhale, gaze towards the top of your mat, soften knees. End of your out breath, we take a few little tiptoes to get there. Feet either hips width or toes together. Breathing in, find length through the spine, fingertips to shins, blocks or mat. And then exhale, Uttanasana, fold it down. We're going to come straight up today. We're going to inhale and unravel. So soften through the knees, rise all the way up to stand. And when you get to the top, just take a big roll back through the shoulders. Find your way into Tadasana, your mountain pose. Take a moment here, either keeping the hands by the sides or maybe bringing the hands to Anjali Mudra, to heart center. Maybe eyes closed or gaze lowers. Take a few deep breaths as you ground through the feet. Active through the legs, through the quads, through the glutes. And then just imagine yourself with every inhale reaching up a little taller through crown of the head. Good. Taking one more deep breath in. And then open the mouth, let it go. Lovely. Inhale, flutter the eyes open, reach the arms up. As you exhale, we're going to cactus the arms, lift the chest. Maybe there's a soft bend in the knees. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, dive it down. Inhale, find your halfway, so fingertips to shins or mat. Exhale, plant the hands down, step in the right foot followed by the left into your high plank. Take a breath through center as you find this strong line of energy from the crown of the head to the heels. And you've got the option to do this next little bit on the knees or on the toes. So we're going to take a few little rocks here. So breathe in. And then we're just going to shift the weight forwards and backwards for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, come to your high plank. Exhale, lower knees, lower chest, lower chin. Inhale, ripple the body forward, finding your cobra. Pull the shoulders back. And then exhale, tuck the toes, sit bones towards the heels. And then wave yourself back to your downward facing dog. Just taking one deep breath here. And then inhale, gaze towards the top of your mat, soften the knees. Either continue with a few little steps, or maybe we step the right foot towards the right wrist, left foot towards the left. Inhale as you lengthen through crown of the head. Exhale to fold. Inhale, root to rise, slowly rolling up through the spine, reaching the arms up at the top. And then this time, once more, we're going to exhale, cactus the arms, maybe putting a little bend in the knees. Stay here for your inhale, maybe pulling the elbows back. And then exhale, release the hands behind the back, interlace. Inhale as you pull the knuckles away, lift the chest, maybe gaze lifts. And then exhale, soften and fold. Keeping that interlace if that feels okay for you today. Taking 2 deep breaths here. Maybe the knees stay bent. Good. Then gently releasing the hands down. Take an inhale as you find that halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step the left foot followed by the right into your high plank. Hold in here through center for an inhale. And then we're going to come into a right side plank. So either coming onto the right pinky toe or maybe lowering the right knee down. Lifting that left arm up. Think about lifting your right hip, whichever variation we're in. One more inhale. And then exhale, release that left hand down. Inhale, high plank, come through center. Exhale, take it to the left. Again, option to lower that bottom knee. Any wrist issues as well, you could take forearm plank here. Squeeze in the hips up. Try and pull that right hip forward. Good. One more inhale. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale into your high plank. Exhale, your vinyasa. So either through knees, chest, chin, or through chaturanga. If we're taking the second 2, lower one straight line. Inhale for your cobra or up dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes. Wave it back. Downward facing dog. Again, just one deep breath. You can release it if it feels good to. Inhale. Let it go. Inhale, gaze in towards the top of your mat. Soften knees. Maybe this time we step the left foot forward. Get a little momentum. Step the right. Inhale, create space. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, ripple up through the spine, reaching the arms up at the top. Good. Exhale, cactus the arms. Once more, inhale, maybe pulling the elbows back, lift up. And then exhale, interlace one more time. Just one breath in our fold this time. So inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, fold it down. Inhale, find that halfway lift, release the hands. Exhale, plant the hands. You can continue stepping, or you could take a little hop back to your high plank. Take an inhale through center, and then exhale, everybody lower the knees. As you inhale, you're going to roll through the spine, send sit bones towards the heels. And then exhale, come all the way forward, take a little chaturanga push up for 5. Push it back for 4. These can be as big or as small as you would like, or you can skip them all together for 3. If you're not feeling for these today, you could take some little cobra waves, or you could pause in your child's pose. Good, one more here, come forward. And then send it all the way back. Take a big breath in that child's pose, maybe toes stay tucked. And let it go. Good, looking forward. We're going to inhale, come all the way forward, either knees or toes, and then move through your vinyasa. So lower halfway or all the way down, cobra or up dog as we pull the shoulders back. And then exhale, come to meet back in that downward facing dog. This time we're here for 3 breaths. So again, option to drop down to the knees. If you're staying in your downward facing dog, again, think about this length from the fingertips to the sit bones. And wrapping the triceps back. Final deep breath here. And then let's begin with a little more flow. So on your next inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, gaze towards the top of your mat. Right foot steps towards the right thumb. As always, you can give a little hand to get there. Spin the back heel down, gaze forward, rise up. Warrior 1. Either hands roughly shoulder width or palms together. Push down through your back pinky toe, and we try and rotate that left hip forward. Gazing up if that feels good. Let's hold it here. Just one more big breath in. And then as you exhale, start to shift the weight forward. Come onto the back toe. Release the left hand down to your mat. Reach right arm up. Easy twist. Open through the chest. Maybe gazing up towards that right hand. Legs are really strong and active here. So push through your back heel. You can always lower the back knee. One more deep breath. And then gazing down towards that left hand, tricky little transition. We're going to come onto the left fingertips, squeeze the inner thighs together, find your gazing point just ahead. And then as you breathe in, we're going to start to lift into a twisted lunge. So start to send that left arm forward, right arm back, squeeze in through that right glute, open through the chest. You could gaze to the side, you could gaze back. Good, hold it there, one more big breath. And then option to release that right hand towards the left thigh or lower back as you reach the left fingertips up, coming into your revolve lunge. Open, maybe gazing up to challenge that balance. Push through that back heel. Good, holding it there, one more breath. Good, inhale. And then as you exhale, you're going to windmill both of the hands down to your mat. You may want to grab your blocks here. We're coming into this runner's lunge for one big breath in as you lift the chest. And then as you exhale, you're going to start to straighten through your right leg and bend into left leg. Option to lift the right toes. Yeah, so we're hovering that left knee off the mat. We're pulling that right hip back in space. Take an inhale as you lift through the chest. Exhale, soften and fold. One more there. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Whew, well done. Inhale, bring it forward. We're back into that runner's lunge. Maybe keeping hold of the blocks. We try and get a little momentum and we lift that left leg. Standing split. Take a few breaths here to play around with any variations that you would like to today. So you could keep hands to blocks. You could bind with one hand or both around the ankle. Maybe we start to draw the nose, the forehead towards that standing leg. Good. Last deep breath. Inhale as you find that halfway lift. Exhale, soften into your right knee as we step that left foot about halfway, toes and heel come down. Inhale, start to rise all the way up through center, and then exhale, lift the right toes and we come into a goddess. So we pivot towards our left, reach the arms up, inhale, toes out, heels in. Exhale, cactus the arms, find your goddess. Inhale as you open through the chest. Exhale, we're going to take eagle arms. So we're going to wrap that left arm on top of the right. I'll face you for this one. So left arm on top of the right, either backs of the hands, palms together, or grab the shoulders, whichever one's going to feel better for you today. Keeping that bend through the knee. Take an inhale as you lift the elbows. Exhale, curl the elbows towards you. Inhale, lift. Exhale, pull it down. One more there. Inhale, lift. And exhale, pull it down. Good. Inhale, start to lift, unravel, come back to that cactus. We stay for the exhale. And then inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs. Pivot the left toes to face the front of the mat. Take the arms out wide, right toes face forward. Breathe in as you reach as well forward as you can. Breathe out for Trikonasana. Right fingertips maybe come into your block, maybe resting on the leg or hover there. Again, if you did want a little more today, you could reach the right arm forward. Pull right hip back in space and focus on this length, almost a little lean back here, length through the left side and the right side of the waist. Good. Last deep breath. And then either staying in your Trikonasana or gazing down, maybe grabbing your block for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon, bending into your right knee. That block or hand about a foot ahead and to the right of the right foot. You could bring left hand to hip as you slide the left foot in, and then maybe lift that left leg, flexing the toes to the left. You could even hover that bottom hand, again, if you wanted a little more. Ooh, nearly fell in the pond. Good. Try and open the chest up towards that left hand side. Gaze is wherever allows us to maybe stay standing. But as always, if we wobble, if we fall, do not worry. Either pause or give it another little go. One more deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to lower the left foot to meet the right, bending into your knees. Sweep that left arm forward, Utkatasana. So either hands to heart center or reaching the arms up. Take a big breath in. Maybe sink the sit bones down a little lower. Exhale, one more inhale. And then exhale, fold it down. Inhale, find that halfway lift through the chest. And then this time, heel toe the feet as roughly as wide as your mat. Toes point out, heels point in. Big breath to lengthen through chest. And then exhale, Malasana. So ease yourself down. Take a few breaths to kind of arrive into it, into the hip space. And if you wanted to make this a little bit more passive today, restorative, you could come to sit on a block and just take kind of the balance out of it. Or you can stay hovering, you could reach arms forward, whichever variation you're in. If you've got the hands at heart center, use the elbows to gently encourage the knees wide. You could always keep hands down here as well. Maybe closing the eyes for a moment as you just try and actively open into the hips. Create that length through the spine. Good. One more big breath in and one more breath out. Good. If you had the hands lifted, popping the hands down in front of you. Take an inhale as you lift up into that wide fold. And then as you exhale, your Vinyasa, so you could take a few steps, you could head straight back to downward dog or jump it back, moving through your Vinyasa. Coming to meet back in your downward facing dog. We're going to flow straight to the other side, but let's take a moment to release. Breathe in, sigh out. Good. Inhale, that left leg lifts. Exhale, gazing forward, knee to chest as we try our best to step the left foot forward and spin the back heel down, gazing ahead. Find where we want to rise up to and come into your warrior one. Same options with the hands. Try and gently push down through your pinky toe. You could always lift the heel if there's any niggles or pain in your back knee. Good, maybe gazing up, and wherever we are, wherever we move to through this flow, try and bear in mind our principles, ahimsa. Everything starts with this kindness to ourselves. One more inhale. And then exhale, shifting the weight forward, come onto the back toes. Release that right hand down to your mat. And then sweep the left arm up, easy twist. First few breaths here, we just focus on opening through the chest, pushing through the back heel, and finding maybe a little more space that gaze can lift. Good, last one here. And then looking down towards your mat, Take it slow, maybe coming on to right fingertips. Feel that left glute switch on as we squeeze the inner thighs, maybe hover the right hand, reach it forward, left arm back, finding our twisted lunge. And again, you could have a play around with moving the gaze. Ooh. Feel into all these little movements in the lower body. Breathe in, breathe out. Option to take that left hand towards right thigh or lower back as you revolve your lunge. Now maybe the gaze lifts, or you could look over that left shoulder. Just see which feels a bit nicer on your neck today. Good, last breath here. And then slowly we're going to circle the hands down, breathe in. And then as you exhale, releasing the hands down either to your blocks, grabbing your blocks here, or to your mat. Take a moment here as you bend a little deeper into your left knee, stretch through that right hip flexor, inhale. And then exhale, start to straighten left leg and bend in the right leg. So right quad, super active and switched on. And then pull that left hip back in space to stretch through that left hamstring. Relax into the head and neck. And again, we use that breath. So reconnect if we've lost it. Inhale, exhale, fold. One more there, inhale, exhale, fold. Good, either keeping hands on blocks or to the mat. Inhale, start to shift the weight forward, bend into that left leg. Find a little momentum as we reach the right leg up, standing split. A few breaths here to do whatever we would like to, whatever feels good. So you can either draw the head down towards that left shin. You could bind. It was a lot hotter out here than I expected. I am sweating. Okay, holding it there. One more deep breath. Good. And then everybody start to lift the chest as we bend into the left knee. We're going to step the right foot about halfway and then push down through the feet, rise all the way up, reach the arms up, pivot to your right, coming into that second round of goddess as we turn the toes out, the heels in, big breath in, exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. We're going to go for those eagle arms again. We'll take the opposite bind this time. So left arm comes underneath the right. Either backs of the hands, the palms connect, or we grab hold of the shoulders. And again, let's take a few flows with the breath. So bending into the knees, open into the hip, and then inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, curl the elbows towards you. Two more there. Inhale to lift. Exhale, bring it in. Final one. Inhale, lift. Notice if the legs have straightened. Exhale, bring it in. Good. Inhale to lift. And then release the arms, cactus. Stay for a breath if we can. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Take a big stretch as you turn the right toes in and the left toes towards the top of your mat. Inhale, reach the arms out wide and then reach as far forward as we can before we come into that Trikonasana. Good. And again, as always, with our gaze, just see what feels best for your neck. We don't want to be straining. You could, if you wanted more, reach that left arm forward. Focus on length through the right side body as well as the left. And think about this perfect point. Say perfect, but the point that we're looking for between effort and ease. Breathing into the shape. We hold the posture, but not the breath. And then if this feels like a nice place to be, stay exactly where you are. Just work with wherever you would like to be today, or gaze down, soften into your left leg, maybe grabbing your block for Ardha Chandrasana. Hand could come to the hip as we slide the right leg in, and then maybe lifting that right leg, flexing the toes to the right. Breathe in there. And again, if you wanted more balance challenge today, you could have a go at hovering that left hand, the left fingertips. Good, last deep breath. And then gazing down towards your mat, nice and slow as we transition. So start to bend into your right knee, and then right foot comes to meet the left as we bend into the knees for Utkatasana, reaching the arms either up or hands at heart center. If we've got the arms up, we're trying to roll the shoulders back, biceps by the ears. Breathing deeply, maybe finding a little bit more depth in that chair. One more breath. And then take an inhale here. And then exhale, fold it down. Whew. Inhale, lift the chest halfway. One more time for our Malasana, a few steps or a jump to take the feet roughly mat width. Toes point out, heels point in. Start to ease yourself down into your Malasana. Same options as before. If you wanted a little more this time, either taking twists here as we reach the right arm out, the left arm up, and then vice versa. You can play around with that for a little while, or you could have a play with your Bakasana or crow pose, taking the hands down. We maybe heel toe the feet a little closer. Coming into it, I find best from a fold. Gaze in ahead, gaze forward, lift onto the toes, bend the knees, knees to the back of either the elbows, the triceps, up to the armpits, gaze forward, maybe you take a few little rocks forwards and backwards, maybe we start to lift one foot and the other, and then if we have got that lift, squeeze in the inner thighs together, squeeze in the heels towards the bum. So everything hugging in, everything switched on. If you'd like to have a little play with that, give it a few breaths. If you're in your Malasana, again, you could close the eyes, breathe in there. One final deep breath. And then to move through a Vinyasa, if you're in your Bakasana or crow, you could take a jump back. If you're working on these jump backs, you could just start with kind of a little one, and then over time they get bigger, or we just jump, step, however you would like to through your Vinyasa. We come to meet back in that downward facing dog. We gaze forward, either gently lowering the knees down, we're going to bring it to seated, or take an inhale to come high onto the toes. Exhale, soften through the knees, knees contact with chest, and maybe we get a little jump. Once you arrive, take the feet out long, give them a little shake out. And then we're just going to take one final seated sort of active posture here. We're going to come into either our reverse tabletop or reverse plank. So you're going to take the hands behind you, maybe the fingertips face towards you, but it's very just dependent on how it feels for your wrists. Find a good position. Option one would be to bring soles of the feet down to the mat. As you start to lift and squeeze through the glutes, we lift the hips. And then option two would be to extend the legs out as we work towards getting the toes down towards the earth. Just very dependent again on your anatomy, on your neck, as to where is going to feel good here. You might want to stay looking slightly forward. You might want to drop the head back. Whichever position we're in, super squeezing through the backs of the legs, through the glutes, lift the chest. One more big breath in. And then exhale, see if you can lower with control. Good. Inhale, lifting the arms, reach up tall. You could always come to sit on a block for your Paschimottanasana. As you exhale, fold it down. Maybe there's a soft bend in the knees here. And then just allow each breath to guide you down towards that stillness, towards this slower pace. With each breath, we soften, relax shoulders. And just allow your body to move to wherever it gets to today. Two more deep breaths. And then on an inhale, gently unraveling all of our movements now, really slow. We are going to bring it down all the way onto our backs. You may want to have, if you've got your blocks, you may want to have one close by. We're going to roll it all the way back, draw the knees in towards the chest, take a little rock from side to side, and I'm going to offer you an inversion to close your practice today. So it might be that we take legs into the air. You could use a block underneath the hips. If you have a comfortable shoulder stand, please feel free to go there. Just gently guiding yourself onto your shoulders, maybe starting from your halasana or plow. And then reaching the legs up, just being really mindful of the neck. Try and bring as much weight as we can into the shoulders. We're not going to be here for too long today, so take a few breaths wherever you'd like to be. If you're in shoulder stand, feel free to just gently come into that halasana, toes behind. And then if you're on your block, just gently lifting the hips, pop it to the side. And then everybody plant the hands down either side of you as we try and slowly roll all the way down. You can do this with straight or bent legs. Straight legs is probably going to feel a little more challenging. Push down through lower back as you lower the feet all the way down to your mat. Whew. And then just take a little matsyasana here. So sliding the hands just underneath the lower back, pushing down through the elbows. Take a big breath in. And then if it feels okay for you, coming on to the crown of the head, stretching through the throat and chest. If you did still want more today, you could always hover the legs here. We're going to take 3 releasing breaths. The third one will be our lion's breath, where we stick out the tongue. So when you're ready, breathe in. Sigh it out. Breathe in. Let go. Last one, big breath in. And then stick out the tongue, look between the eyebrows. Good. Gently release all the way down onto your back. Once more, draw the knees in towards you. And then shift onto your left hip as we just drop the knees to the left. Finding your variation of a twist. So it could be knees together, you could cross one leg over other. If it feels good to you, you could drop the head to the right. Maybe eyes closed as we take that gaze inwards. The remainder of our practice. Lovely. Again, think about slow movement as we take it to the other side, shifting the hips to the left as we drop the knees. Maybe the head goes the other way. Maybe we start to notice that breath once more. And maybe we start to notice the breath slowing. Good. Take one more deep breath. And then inhale, coming all the way back to center. We're going to make our way down to our Shavasana. So please feel free to take any final movements on your way there. Then when you feel ready to, release in the legs into a comfortable position. We come back to where we began. Relaxing the arms by the sides, palms face up. Eyelids become heavy and gently close. As we arrive here, 2 final releasing breaths. Inhale. Sigh it out. Inhale. Let go. And with that sigh, once more, see if you can begin to invite softness into every part of your body, all the way from the tips of the toes to the crown of the head. Our asana practice, all of those physical postures are designed to help us find more ease, more comfort and stillness. So for the last few moments of our practice, see if you can stay here, stay present. If the urge to move, to shift comes in, just remind yourself that this stillness, this rest is just as, if not more important than all of the physical postures. Give yourself time and space to just be. Okay, if you have time, please do allow yourself to stay a little longer here in your Shavasana. If you would like to move on with your day, start to deepen your breath. Start to tune in to any sounds around you. And then begin to invite some gentle movement into fingers, toes, hands and wrists. And then either rolling onto your side, or if you prefer, hug your knees into chest with a gentle rock. And if you can, just using your sense of touch with the eyes closed to gently guide yourself to a comfortable seat, wherever that may be. As we just come to close our practice here together. Once you arrive there, to take a little roll back up the shoulders. Bring in the hands to heart center. Find Anjali Mudra as we press the thumbs into the heart space. We take this little bow down. Just take a moment here at the end of practice, before we move on with our days, to really, really appreciate the fact that you came here, you showed up. Getting on the mat can often be the hardest part, but you did it. So give yourself a huge well done. Let's take a big breath in. Sigh it out. Bringing the thumbs to the third eye, we take that bow down towards the earth. And a final thank you for the lineage, the practice of yoga that allows us to be here, to connect. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. When you are ready, opening the eyes. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming here today, for choosing to practice with me. Really, really hope that you enjoyed that one. I am sweaty. I thought it would be really nice to have this like outdoor view, and I got really excited by the sun, but yeah, hot. I hope that you have a lovely, lovely rest of your day, rest of your week. And just a little reminder, if you do enjoy these classes, please do take a moment to subscribe, so I can keep sharing more with you. And do let me know any feedback that you have. And I look forward to sharing another practice very, very soon. Thank you so much. Bye.